Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited about this video because it tells me that you're talking to potential clients, which is awesome. And being able to enroll clients, honestly, a big part of that happens in the follow-up. The magic is in the follow-up, fortune is in the follow-up. However you want to say it, it is so true. You want to make sure that you're following up with your prospects so that they actually make a decision. It is very common in the coaching space and the online space that you get on the phone with somebody and they don't give you a straight answer. Not a yes, not a no, it's a maybe, it's a I don't know. And this is one of the worst situations you can put yourself in because you're hopeful, you're like, I think they are gonna do it, I think they might sign up with me. The client is actually a no, but they just haven't given the answer to you. Or maybe they're a yes, but they're just needing to overcome some blocks. So you want to make sure that you are there and you are actually doing your due diligence to get them to a decision. That is your job in a sales environment, to get a person to a yes or no, not a maybe, not a I don't know. So in this video, I'm going to share with you a simple follow-up system you can use, a process you can use to actually get clients to say yes or no, and hopefully get you some more clients on board. Hey Impact Maker, this is Camila Gornia. Welcome back to Heart Behind Hustle TV, where we support impact-making entrepreneurs to grow and scale their businesses online, turn their brands into movements. And as we get into this process, I'm just gonna dive right in so you can understand how to create your follow-up process. Now, before we do that, I do wanna mention that my recommendation is that you do enroll clients on the call, right? So you get somebody on the phone, you have the sales conversation with them, and they end up saying yes or no right on that phone call. Ideally, that's what would happen. It's just gonna be the easiest thing to do. Now, if that doesn't happen, you ideally would set another conversation on the calendar so you can have a follow-up conversation and then on that call get them to a yes or a no. I talk about this process a lot in my academy, so I'm not going to get too deeply into this. But what can you do in terms of your emails, in terms of your follow-up to make sure that the person is actually excited and thinking about you and potentially becoming a yes? So there are two approaches that I want to share. The first approach is if you actually did get a follow-up call scheduled on that first conversation. So if that happened, there are specific few emails that you can send. Very, very straightforward because really what we really want is the person shows up on the call and actually has the conversation with you on the phone, because having the conversation on the phone is when you can overcome objections the easiest. So that's what we always want for you when getting clients. Ideal sales follow-up process would look like this. First, after the sales conversation happens, you're doing the sales conversation, you are setting up a follow-up call to happen within 1 to 5 days. And the sooner the better, because the longer a person waits, the less they're going to be excited about you, the more doubt is going to come up, the more fear is going to come up, and the closer to get to a no. So let's say that you have this call scheduled. What you want to do immediately after that sales call is you send a follow-up email. What you're doing in that email is you're doing a recap of that you enjoyed talking to them, that you are the right person to actually help them with this thing they're looking to get help with. You recap when you're going to meet again next, at what time on what date, and you want to share with them any assignment that you gave them to do in between the calls. I like to personally give them a decision-making tool. I'm not going to share that with you right now, but it's something that you might want to consider to get them thinking about you and doing something in between the calls. And then third is to have the follow-up call and then close the client. Pretty straightforward. But then what if you actually talk to the client and you didn't schedule the follow-up call right on the phone, which actually happens probably most of the time when I talk to my clients. They'll talk to somebody, they get excited, they hang up, and they're like, oh crap, I don't have an answer. I don't have a yes, or a no. They said they're going to email me. That is not a situation you want to put yourself in. But in case it does happen, here's what you can do. So first, you're going to immediately after the sales call, you're going to send a thank you email. Similarly to what I said in the previous section, you're just not going to say, hey, we're going to meet again on this date. Although I do recommend that you get them on the phone so you can actually still ask them, hey, when would be a good time for us to follow up? Would Friday at this time work for you? Then you want to send another follow-up email. This is specifically if they did not respond to your previous email. So if they did schedule a follow-up call from that first email, you get that booked, great. You don't have to send more emails. You just show up on that follow-up call, which is really straightforward. Now, if they didn't respond, you want to send another follow-up email, ideally 2 or 1 day after the previous, to basically, try to get them on the phone again. But you want want to get them to see if they have any questions. Maybe you send them something to get them more excited about what you have to offer and kind of going from there. Now, if they still haven't responded to you, you can send another email a couple of days after that to get them re-excited and asking them to get on the phone with you again to have that follow-up conversation. You can position it a little bit differently, saying, hey, I have an idea for you, or I was thinking about you, I wanted to see how this might resonate, and you try to get them on the phone so you can have that conversation again and reconnect them to why they got on the phone with you in the first place. Now, if they still haven't responded to you, you typically will just send one more email, which is all about closing the file. And basically what you're saying, and this is typically what happens like a week after the previous email, maybe a little bit less. Listen, I met with my team, I haven't heard from you, and that typically means one of two things. It typically means that you're either not interested or you just haven't seen this email and it got lost and you meant to respond. Tell me what you recommend for us because I'm about to close the enrollment for this program. So that's what you do, and then nothing after that. Now, I am not super aggressive when it comes to my follow-up. I usually will send 3 emails if they're not responding to me. The thank you email, 1 more follow-up, and then the last one. You can include that the second follow-up if you want to. I do or don't, kind of depending on how I felt about the client, potential client, or if it's a launch for a program or something like that. So yeah, there are a lot of things you need to consider that are kind of nuances. It's not always like as black and white as I'm telling you right here. And obviously the content of the emails you have to write too, so it has to be aligned with your personality. It has to sound friendly, but also like you're a leader, because you are, and you want to make sure you're the person guiding them in that experience, which is all the things you need to do in sales anyway. So I'll do more sales related videos possibly in the future, but we talk a lot about this in my Aligned Marketing Academy. How do you actually get clients on board? How to do your marketing visibility to attract the right clients to you so you don't have to do a lot of convincing. So if this is an area that you struggle with and you would like some support, make sure that you check that out. Go to heartbehindhustle.com/academy. And if it's open, would definitely encourage you to enroll. And if it's not, get on the wait list so you can enroll when we open again. But I'm so excited for you. Hopefully this video helps. If you would like to get more, make sure that you subscribe to this channel so you get all the future videos, enable notifications, of course, so you know when my next video is coming out, which is pretty much every week. So I'm really excited to have had you here. You are amazing. I'm so excited to have you in my community, and I just look forward to seeing you in the future. And if you haven't grabbed the resource that I shared, make sure you do that. Starter kit helps you with your business. It's great. It's awesome. And that's that. All right. I will see you in the next one. Bye.